Queensland left to right, and the greatest game of all. Episode 95 becomes a reality in front of 84,000 people. And millions around Australia and the globe, and Tim Grant with a magnificent opening exclamation to his Origin career. Oh, the Panther got the job done.
I have never seen Petro Civoniceva put on his backside like that.
Gallen took the second. He said he'd play just like a prop anyway. And so it's the Blues on their own 30-metre line. They run towards the north to the river end of ANZ Stadium, and that is Tamo on the red line. Magnificent start to the six from Tim Grant, and then the kick from Carney taken by Slater. Surely, oh, look at that defence from the Blues. Surging defence. Full of enthusiasm. Surely Billy couldn't have a game that replicated Melbourne. Brent Tate feeling the wrath of the Blues defence.
Well, Billy Slater went very, very close to losing it as Dave Taylor takes the ball forward with his head wrapped in bandage. Cooper Cronk down the short side, is through.
Cronk with a dummy, and then he sprints down the ground. New South Wales now regrouping down at the southern goal mouth, and it's Brett Stewart who's taken by Jonathan Thurston, resting up against the pads. Jared Hayne falling in, taking this play. The ground shot from the dead ball line shows Glenn Stewart now taking it out 11 metres from his line. Cronk just sized through them. Tim Grant again. Now James Tamo out to the 30-metre line. Series 31 into its second game. And Pearce it is that drives it down to bounce onto the knees. Down there of Darius Boyd. Can't buy a try for Newcastle. 2 tries in Melbourne. 8 tries in all at Origin level. Thurston for Inglis. And Greg will be put down by Josh Morris, who did a good job for the most part in Melbourne in defence. Right side run for Harrison now. One of only 2 Queenslanders in the 17 that haven't worn the national colours. On the Blues 40-metre line now. The opening exchanges of Origin 2 and Petro in his 32nd appearance. Only Lockyer and Langer have played more games of Origin. Knock on Thurston. Pressure put on them by the Blues.
I rang New South Wales coach Ricky Stewart this afternoon just to see how the nerves were, and he said to me, I feel like going down and sitting on the sideline to feel what my players are feeling. I said, if you feel like it, do it. And there he is, down with his troops, experiencing everything that they will experience. Wonderful, wonderful atmosphere here at ANZ tonight.
Morris then, with a delayed play of the ball. And the Blues are back on their 40-metre line, with James Tamo taking it up towards the halfway line. And here's Robbie Farah coming away to go to Mitchell Pearce and then get it on to Greg Bird. And the Gold Coast Titans second. He's lost the ball, but it's a steal. It's a penalty to New South Wales.
Leave the ball.
First of the game.
It's a very hard temptation to resist. The ball was sitting there. David Taylor, he couldn't help himself. He had a play at it. Greg Bird, it's poor ball security, but there were plenty in the tackle. And has earned a penalty.
Watch the enthusiasm of the Blues attack here against a Queensland team that are pretty determined to hang out as well. Is it experience versus youth?
Grant again with a very strong run. He's been inspirational early. Gallen comes back and goes back to Greg Bird, and Bird, who was magnificent in Melbourne, who played the ball 13 away from the Queensland line. Pearce goes away to Tamo, standing out at second receiver, running off a pivot. Now he'll play the ball 5 metres away from the Queensland line, down at the northern end. Pearce turns it in. Bird is with the ball, gets it away for Brett Stewart. Up from fullback! Almost sliding out of the tackle, a desperate tackle there by Cameron Smith, in fact, and Petro. Now it's come away for Carney. He rolls it in. It's too deep. 20. Back to the 20 comes sprinting Darius Boyd.
Yeah, that's an easy release of pressure there as Darius Boyd races up to take the restart. They did not get a line drop out in Melbourne. Queensland got 3. That keeps pressure on. New South Wales have to do better in that department.
Ashley Harrison, his 14th Origin, been one of the benchmarks that they've built this dynasty upon. There's only a handful of them that have been there since 2006. Smith away for Thurston, and Thurston is put down a couple of metres into New South Wales's half. Now comes to Cronk, and he just puts it up on the belly button there of David Taylor. 122 kilos of him, head bandaged, fell out of bed during the week. Now, Cronk it is that puts it high down towards Uate. Ooh, he only just held that. It almost went straight through. Greg Inglis making the tackle. Now across to Brett Stewart.
It's another one of those really flat bombs by Cronk. He kicks it in the middle of the ball. It doesn't spin, it doesn't gyrate, it just comes down flat and swerves at the last minute. We saw a number of those for the Melbourne Storm this year. It's a very effective bomb.
Good Bird again with a run, and here's Gallen again with another carry. And then he's able to offload, and Farrow sees something over on the right. And I think it was there, actually, had he gone there. Carney's with the ball. Plays it on the 30-metre line. I think it needed an outside ball rather than an inside ball, to be honest with you. Glenn Stewart, Josh Morris and Uate had put 3 numbers on 2. Now the kick clearing from New South Wales. And here is Brent Tate. This wonderful campaigner. I can never think of the right words to describe the man's love and passion of this game, to be down the avenue that he has, injury-wise, and still be able to participate at the pinnacle of our game. Penalty goes to Queensland, so it's 1-1 off the whistle of Archer.
He slows the second. But every tackle 11 or 12 metres. I'll have a look.
Yeah, totally agree on Brent Tate. He is one of the most competitive footballers that I have ever seen, and certainly one of the more courageous.
I'm sure you would remember, Gus, the game where he had what it looked like it was the end of his career. He was in the dressing sheds after once again coming up with a very serious injury. He said at that occasion, at this very ground, that he was about to give it away. That's it, no more football. Well, you can see what courage and determination means to a footballer.
Here's Matthew Scott taking it up to the 30-metre line, and he'll play the ball. And oh gee, that's a scrum. That's a scrum. That's a mistake by Matthew. I was about to make the point about he's had some
I lost the ball there, but you're not going.
sickness in the family, for which he was
but you're going earlier.
given leave to go back home. And I was about to make the comment, he'd be struggling to get his mind into the right space for tonight, and then he makes a knock on at his first carry.
Yeah, it's a very uncharacteristic mistake, no doubt about that, but he took his time. He was actually in a really good position to play the football, and it still popped out. And you can see the reaction from the New South Wales players. Slapping again. There's strong tackle there on Jared Hayne from Justin Hodges.
Hayne standing 2 in from the left, and Jennings, this man, was standing on the wing on that occasion. Played then by Michael. One-handed pick-up by Robbie Farrer. It mightn't be such a good idea in conditions like this, but he got away with it then. Takes it 7 metres into Queensland's area. Carney drifting, turning it in. Glenn Stewart's with the ball. And this outstanding back rower from Manly. His brother is at the back of the New South Wales side, and Farrer kicks, and what a take by Tate. He was down on the boundary, and the referee has said play on, and rightly so. Tate is with the ball. So it is Thurston who's crabbing across the ground, taken by Carney. Let's have a look at this. There was a roar went from the crowd. Well, that's a tackle. I've got to take that